SmackDown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of SmackDown Raw and or PLEs. And if they bring back WWE's ECW, well, I'll probably pass because that show sucked. All right, so let's get going. Armani Goodwin says, Cody got booed out of the building. LMAO. Stormcloak did respond and say, what? Don't mistake me for a Cody Rhodes fanboy here, but I remember Cody started roasting John pretty hard and everybody was cheering for him again. So that is a correct statement. Cody got booed, but he did win the crowd back. So let's keep that in mind as we go further. SRP, Cody getting booed is only the beginning of the end. Dun, dun, dun. I added that part, the sound effects. Because once Cena wins the belt, people gonna forget about Cody. Therefore, he needs to take a break. I understand your sentiment, but I don't agree with that, actually. I think it'll be better for Cody to lose the belt so he can chase the belt. I don't think he needs to go away. I think he needs to immediately get back in the chase. People love a babyface that chases a belt. That's one of the reasons why hashtag Cody took off. I'm beginning to think that maybe it wasn't so much they wanted Cody, but they wanted the villain at the time, Roman Reigns, to lose, and they wanted to see that happen. So once John Cena, the villain, wins the title, people are going to want to see him lose the title. It's just what happens. Right or wrong, that's what fans want. The Dante Show. Cody did a really good job getting the crowd back on his side after getting booed. Agreed. Normally, I would expect Cody to get all emotional and, Daddy, and maybe a little knocked off his game, but he was able to bounce back and his emotion and allow his emotion to drive his promo. 100% great call. He earned some of my respect, but he definitely still needs to lose at Mania. Love that. You can respect somebody even if you still want them to lose, believe it or not. And then he shouldn't have been champion this long consecutively. He should have lost this championship by now. Kevin should have beat him. I agree with that too. I think that would have really spiced up his title reign and made people like him more if he had lost the title for 2 or 3 weeks. In December, he should have lost the title at Saturday Night Main Event and won it right back at Royal Rumble. That would have been amazing. So yeah, we're pretty much in agreement here. And just like Cody should have lost his title, I want to lose this title. Let me explain. You see, I have a 20,000 subscriber giveaway that's gonna happen. I'm almost at 16,000, so we're almost there. All you gotta do to enter is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification with a thumbs up, please, pretty please, and you can pick. You have your pick. If you win, you get your pick of belts. If you've seen this channel, you watch me, I'm always like bringing up a new belt. Well, you can pick if you are the winner, and I'm trying to quit the day job. That's why I'm doing all of this. Want to produce wrestling content full-time, so help me out. Engage in the channel, be a subscriber, and you can win your choice of replicas, not toys, belt. All right, next hot take. Tiz Mickey, that was the best Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal I've seen since I've been watching wrestling. I think she's been watching since 2022 or 2023. 2022. It was 2022. She told me in a previous comment. And all the right people were in the Final Four, and the right person won. Holy cow, this was, you know what? I'm not joking with you, Tiz Mickey. This might be the best Battle Royal I have ever seen. Not the best Royal Rumble, but the best Battle Royal. This was so freaking good. I could not believe how good it was. And it actually started off good. It started off with R-Truth and Carlito having a little segment, and it just got better and better. It built up. There was there were like multiple stories in this Battle Royal. Usually this Battle Royal is such a bag of nothing. It's like, here's a bag. This is my Andre the Giant Battle Royal bag, and you open it up and there's just nothing in there. But this one had so much. I did a live stream, and the live stream is now on private. If you missed the live stream, I have to private it for, YouTube reasons. But I wish you could go back and watch my reaction to it because I was just so captivated. This was a perfectly booked Battle Royal. I have never seen one this good, and I'm not using recency bias. The closest thing I can think of was the first Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but that only had really one spot in it where Cesaro threw Big Show over the top rope. There was another one that had a cool spot with Damien Sandow and The Miz, but the wrong person won. I'm pretty sure the Big Show won that one, and the wrong winner. It should have been Damien Sandow won that one, but this one, the right winner won, and not just that, we got to put over so many people. Rey Fenix remained strong. We had storylines being developed. Grande Americano comes out. We had a callback to earlier in the year where it was Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. This kind of became their game 7 because that was never really determined, and Carmelo won. I would have been okay with an Andrade win, but I was ecstatic. I was over the moon with a Carmelo Hayes win. This was a perfect match. Very, very happy with it. I'm some loner. Definitely awesome to see Carmelo Hayes get a big W. Yes, please let the momentum continue. Bookerman TTJC, patron of the channel. Tiz Mickey is also a patron of the channel, by the way. I don't like the whole Randy begging for a match thing. I don't like the whole Randy begging for a match thing. He said he cares about the guys in the back, but he doesn't. It comes off as selfish and whiny, which would work if he's a heel, but he's a face, and it feels weak. Yes, I would say that logic doesn't necessarily compute. I don't know why some of these wrestlers do that. Like, Rhea's done this too recently, where she'll say something along the lines of, I am treating you like you treated me, so I'm taking my title. And it's like, no, that's not there. If we really think about this, you gave her the match because you felt sorry for her or whatever the reason, but you gave it to her. She does not owe you anything. It was you that made the decision, Rhea. Seth Rollins is doing the same thing. This is the most important triple threat of all time. No, it isn't. There's no stakes involved. At most, it determines whether or not Paul Heyman becomes someone else's manager. And so Seth Rollins is doing it, and so is Randy now saying, I'm going to get a match for the boys in the back. What do the boys in the back care if you got a match, Randy Orton? Whether or not it's your 20th WrestleMania. I love Randy Orton, but Omos does not care if you have a match unless you're fighting Omos, okay? And let's say you do end up fighting Omos. Well, then Andrade is not going to care about your match, Randy. You're not doing it for the boys in the back. Just say, this is my 20th WrestleMania, and I'm doing this for me, my dad, my legacy, whatever the case may be, but I'm doing it so I can wrestle. It's no shame. So everyone needs to quit with the BS reasoning and just be honest, legit. Seth Rollins, you don't have to say this is the most important triple threat. You can say that I just hate these two so much that this is the biggest triple threat to me. It's just semantics, I know, but I don't know. KB, Solo has absolutely no aura. Oh, poor Solo. Poor freaking Solo. The dude took over Roman Reigns' tribal chiefdom the day after WrestleMania, and now look at him. Jobbing out. Now, it's no shame to lose to the U.S. champ, but the shame is that he's put in a position where it was like, there was no doubt in anyone's mind that Solo Sikoa was going to take the pin. There was just no doubt. Solo Sikoa was so promising after SummerSlam. What the heck happened? They totally destroyed what Solo could have been. And that sucks. That absolutely sucks. I am not the hugest Bayley fan, right? I'm not the hugest Bayley fan, but I do believe that Bayley's record should be protected because we put so much time and effort into Bayley that she's great for an opponent to have. If they want to showcase someone tough and amazing, they can pin Bayley. Because if Bayley barely loses, but she can be used to to push someone else, that's an amazing thing to do. But you got to keep Bayley strong, and that's what we should have did with Solo. Just because Solo's not the guy doesn't mean we couldn't have kept him strong. We could have kept Solo very strong and away from the world title. After what we did, after all the money at the time we invested in Solo last year, this is what it's all for. So he can take a pin on the show before WrestleMania, not on the card. He gets the pin. He takes the pin. It's like, come on. He was on the debut episode of Netflix. So many people saw him. This dude should still be a threat. Even if he's not a threat for the world title, he should still be a threat. Dante Leonardo definitely felt like Naomi was about to reveal something before Jade's music hit. I'm still not convinced there's nothing else going on here. My official prediction is Io goes over and moves on from them, which leaves Rhea to somehow get involved with Bianca, Jade, and or Naomi after the Mania fallout. I hope not. I don't want Rhea anywhere near that triple, those three. I like the Bianca, Jade, Naomi storyline. I want that to stay between those three. But I don't know. I didn't catch that, honestly, that Naomi was about to say something. I could see it, and you never know. Naomi's so crazy. She can just make stuff up at this point. But that said, she could definitely reveal. I know a lot of people are starting to think, oh, well, Bianca must be in on it. I really hope they don't do that. Even if Bianca turns heel, because the crowd is also starting to boo her, even if Bianca turns heel, I want it to be in a way that she never knew what Naomi was doing, but now she agrees with it. After she's like, you know what, you're right. We should have both pushed her. That's my regret. I wish I would have pushed her with you. But at the time, Bianca and Jade, they need to have still remained friends. Maybe Naomi corrupts Bianca, but Bianca was always pure up until that point. And Io winning, I think Io's going to win too, and that's unfortunate because I really want Bianca to win. I really, really want Bianca to win. Not because I just love Bianca, but I also love the fact that she's like 4-0. Now it's Solo, incoming rant. Here we go. I'm thinking he's saying Triple H, he wastes legends, rising stars, and new stars. He wastes championships, makes bad matches, wastes 3 hours of a show. He overbooks overused stars or screws them. And most of them bust their butt for his level and for this level, and you overuse them to screw them. Triple H doesn't deserve the Hall of Fame. Triple H needs to surrender the main roster to HBK because I'm starting to rant about a company I used to defend. Plus, he's going to say online fans are fake, B-word, but uses streamers, excuse my French, but his words, this mellow push is too late, but at least we all still love him. At least the crowd still loves him. So there was at least a little bit of positivity in there, the mellow push. So I'm just going to leave that one as is. I said it out loud for Acknowledge Solo, and normally I won't read a full rant like that, but I felt that he needed to be heard. And I don't necessarily agree with everything he said. I'm just going to leave it as is, though. Shugma Wrestling. Cody Rhodes should never touch the title again after Cena wins at Mania. He is one of the most boring wrestlers to watch, his character-wise. Okay, so please, this person is noting that not his wrestling. His wrestling's okay, but his character sucks. I don't think so. Even if I agreed fully with that statement, I'd fall back on we got to keep Cody strong after this, because that way when he is defeated, we want to, you build up characters. You take time to build up a character, keep them strong. If nothing else, they can help put over future talent. I don't think Cody Rhodes is the worst ever, though. This is going to be, we're just going to have to disagree. I still feel he has value in the main event scene. Frank Oakley III, I think Cody should turn heel. A couple weeks ago, Cody wore a blue and white thing on his lapel, similar to the one Rock wore on his while back. Then he puts a YouTube link. Might be looking too much into that, though. LOL. You're talking to a guy who has like 3 videos on clues about John Cena turning heel, and I'm thinking about doing a 4th about his Instagram. So, I am not the one to say, oh, you're reading into these clues too much. And then he also says, I also think Seth is joining Rock. I went back to watch the opening segment, and not only did he do a subtle Rock handling of the mic, the if you smell handling, so he's holding the mic like the Rock would, before he spoke into it, but his fit tonight is very similar to the Rock's Night 2 outfit from last year's Mania, and the best for business line he said this past Monday. That is interesting. Is Seth Rollins going to sell his soul again to an authority type figure? That is very interesting. If I had enough time, I'd probably do a is Seth turning heel video. Those do really good on the channel, by the way. Thank you if you just came here from the Jey Uso turning heel video. 30,000 views. Appreciate every single one of you. KB, Nick, Two-Strike Aldis. Ladder match next week for the belts. This should be on WrestleMania. 100%. Glad you brought that up. Why is this not on WrestleMania? A TLC match that actually the storyline makes perfect sense. They leave it off. Why is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria a thing on WrestleMania? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Liv got on the card. She definitely deserves to be on the card, but her tag team match does not. Why is the New Day and the Viking Raiders on the WrestleMania card? Don't get me wrong, I love the New Day, and I would love for them to win the championships at WrestleMania, but if we had to choose between all three storylines, it would be the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, that deserves to be on the WrestleMania card, with or without the TLC stipulation, but with that stipulation, it should definitely be on the card. So, strike one, I get behind that. And then, Zelina beat Chelsea 2 weeks in a row. No title on the line. WTF is going on. Oh, circle back. I forgot to actually say what I thought about the TLC on my review last night. Sorry, I do those in one take, one shot. So sometimes I plow through something, and I felt really bad though. So I wish that's my official stance. That TLC should be on WrestleMania card. And yes, Zelina Vega, I did talk about this on my review. The fact that Zelina Vega won a non-title match last week doesn't mean she gets a non-title match this week. It means this week should have been a title match. I love Chelsea Green as president of the U.S. Championship. I pledge allegiance to her even, but if we're going, that's a plot hole. If we're going within the logic of the WWE universe, Chelsea Green should have lost her title tonight on that pin, because this should have been a title match based on last week being a non-title match that the champion lost. Else nor Bianca needs to turn heel. Her character is so bland right now. This one's interesting. I actually really still enjoy Bianca Belair, but I do think that the audience is turning on her, and a lot of people are like, why is the audience turning on Bianca Belair? She's done nothing wrong. I think she's suffering from the John Cena effect. Not the current John Cena, but if we go back 10 or 15 years ago, John Cena never did anything really wrong. Yeah, here and there he would do something a little shady, but for the most part, John Cena was a consistent face, and people eventually just got bored and said, well, he's bland. And I think that's what's happening to Bianca right now. I think a lot of people have just gotten bored with Bianca. Not because she's doing anything necessarily wrong, but because she's not doing anything necessarily new, if that makes sense. So I'm still on board the Bianca train, but I do understand, based on what has happened to other heroes in the past, I think that's what's happening. And I wouldn't mind a Bianca heel turn, not gonna lie there, but careful what you wish for, everybody, because I could see Bianca I could see her being a firecracker to deal with, and I would love that even more though. Dreamer OG was at church with the wife for Good Friday. How many Triple H Hall of Fame segments we get tonight? Not enough. Not enough. We only got one when it should have been like 3 or 4. By the way, did you guys and gals know that Triple H, he's now in the Hall of Fame? That was last night. He got in the Hall of Fame last night. So unfortunately, no more Triple H Hall of Fame videos. But I assume Randy didn't get an opponent you assume, right? But, low-key, I'm beginning to think that it's KO. I never stopped thinking it was KO, but I'm beginning to think more and more that Kevin Owens has been fooling us all. And then where we go from here, probably an open challenge, just guessing, too obvious. Dreamer, you were right about everything. You were right about everything. Wayne Aidso, highly disappointed they decided to do the TLC match next week and not Mania. Could tell the crowd weren't feeling that one. Yeah, it was like the crowd even booed. The crowd even booed. What do you got to say about that, Triple H? The crowd did not approve of you. Does the crowd not exist? Never gonna let you let that one down, buddy. But yeah, they should have totally did it at WrestleMania. Pac Rim Pacific, John Cena socks. Not sucks, but socks. So probably that's what it sounds like. And I actually have my last video, or 2 videos ago, the more John Cena clues. I actually talk about John Cena socks. There's a plug for you. Damian Baxter, Bianca shouldn't be in the match with Rhea and Io. She should be in the Jade-Naomi rivalry. Here's a hot take for you. I think Io shouldn't be in the feud, and it should be Rhea versus Bianca one-on-one, and then after Jade Naomi have their first battle, that's when Bianca gets reintroduced to that feud. Right now, though, I'm happy with just Jade and Naomi in their own separate little universe. But yeah, I think Io and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you disrespect Io. Honestly, I don't think that this rivalry has done her any favors. In my opinion, they have disrespected Io because she is literally an afterthought. And whether or not they're going to use that for the finish, oh, well, she was an afterthought, so she outsmarted everyone. Nah, I would have just rather seen Bianca and Rhea go at it. Those are the two, super athletes of the women's division. It would have been cool to see that. But that said, going to be a great match. Still love Io. Happy that she's going to get a WrestleMania moment. Just don't feel that this was her match to be in. Jimbo Slice. We need to stop pretending like Cody isn't holding his own against Cena. That's twice now. He nearly lost the crowd to Cena, and he's been able to win them back under the toughest pressure. That is absolutely right. Absolutely right. And that statement, I'm just going to let that statement stand where it is because I 100% agree with it. CR ranks Rusev Day. It's going to be Rusev Day soon. Very, very soon. Do we get it? Do we get it at WrestleMania or do we get it the night after? Because Rusev is back. Damian King, there's probably a good reason why the World Tag Team match is on the card. Hopefully it's a good reason. I think he's talking about saying, why is the New Day on the card, but not the Street Profits that have a really built-in storyline? I bet if this is not the reason, then there's no good reason. I think the reason is that Big E is going to actually cost the New Day the title. I'm thinking that's the reason, and because that would be a huge WrestleMania moment to have Big E do something. But at the same time, it's WrestleMania. There's 2 nights of it. We couldn't get both tag teams on the card. Then hopefully this open challenge will be good. Wonder who will accept. I'm calling it. Kevin Owens. I'm officially in the Kevin Owens is working us camp. Pearl Watson. Seth Rollins mentioned one of Roman Reigns' catchphrases. Believe that. And he mentioned AEW without actually saying AEW. And he mentioned Dean Ambrose. I love that promo. That was a really good promo. A little delusional. He said a couple things. I was like, come on, Seth. Seth, don't say that, and you would have had a perfect promo. Cam Nami, Kabuki Warriors should help Io retain. I can feel it. They're coming. They're ready to come back. It's a triple threat, and it's no DQ, so, maybe. And also, if Brock or Goldberg is Randy's secret opponent, then we riot. Yes, let's do that. Let's make a pact, everyone. If Goldberg shows up, we riot. Watch, he shows up, there's a riot. I get arrested for invoking violence. But you know what? Worth it. No Goldberg. Raphael Adair. Carmelo is finally starting his main event push, and Miz being his manager / hype man is perfect. These two are going to have a generational run. I hope so. I really do hope so. Seth Pipe Bomb was all right. He managed to spice up the stakes of the triple threat and tease a Paul Heyman alliance. This battle will be legendary. And then number 3, it's criminal that Chelsea and Vega miss WrestleMania 41, most especially after making the women's U.S. title entertaining. I definitely think Chelsea not being on the card is criminal. She's been like the MVP of the women's mid-card division, like, period. And she should definitely be on the match, on the Mania card. And then number 4, another missed opportunity for Rock to show up, but Cena raised a valid point about Cody rejecting The Rock. Perhaps Cody losing to Cena will be the beginning of Codelander, who wins by any means necessary. I can see that, but shame on you, Rock. Shame on you. I'm going to say it. There, I said it. Shame on you, Rock, for not showing up. Dude, why'd you show up for Elimination Chamber? This John Cena heel turn could have happened without The Rock, and it would have made perfect sense. Perfect sense. We didn't need The Rock to show up and do what he did. Because, like, if you're not going to show up, Rock, just stay gone, dude. I don't hate you for being a part-timer, but you can't just show up and totally disrupt everything and then not show up again. That's when I'm not going to like you as a part-timer. What you did last year was amazing. What you did this year, not cool. Well, and even if you show up at night 2 WrestleMania main event, too little, too late. T-Rex Carter, I've actually come around on the idea that John Cena is seriously retiring with the belt and leaving. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. That does sound a little crazy. You want John Cena to just retire with the belt and leave? The Undisputed title carries 3 different belt lineages, WWE, World Heavyweight, and the Universal, 2 of which John Cena has held numerous times over his career. Would it be fitting and less confusing if Cena were to retire with the belt and WWE were to just come out with a new WWE title that has its own lineage to match the current world title? Okay, so he's saying that we have combined world titles so many times that its lineage is split off into like 3 branches. I get what you're saying, and it actually does make a lot of sense, T-Rex, but I'm just going to disagree with you because I just feel like I want to have a title that has existed for a very long time. But you are not wrong, let me tell you that. And your opinion is very valid. We just happen to not share the same opinion. So that's a great comment and worth exploring and discussing, but not for me. I'm not on the same page as you, but I'm sure others would be, and it's very valid. Thank you for that. Akmel Ryan, number 1, WWE should have booked more segments like this with Cody and Cena going at each other. They wasted 4 weeks of no Cena, and they wasted 2 weeks of Cena not talking to Cody. I agree. This, if they would have had these kind of promo battles, then this would have been a great build to WrestleMania. And yet it was just like, I don't know, it just wasn't there. It wasn't there. John Cena's heel turn should have meant more following Elimination Chamber. So yeah, this just very like, for such an impactful heel turn, this has been a mid-feud, but this, if they would have had more segments like this, it would have been better. Number 2, Carmelo Hayes and his character perfectly fits to be the Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner, and WWE booked it correctly. His character could boast about the win whenever he appears. Yeah, I hope he brings that trophy with him everywhere. For the next year, I want him and that trophy to be inseparable. And number 3, it's sad that the WWE never booked a segment in which Seth Roman and Punk roasted and went at each other. It would have been fun. Yeah, I think they, they had maybe 1 or 2 moments where it could have happened, but they just never really went at it, which is really, really weird because all 3 of them can go on the mic. This isn't a situation in which one of them is weak. No, they're very different. All 3 of them are very different, but they're all 3 very, very elite. And it's like, why didn't we have them 20 minutes in the ring ripping each other? Do a half an hour. Give them each 10 minutes. Bonnie Gaming World, Stone Cold returns. Well, he was there at the Hall of Fame show last night, so he could definitely be there tomorrow at the Night 2 main event. Noah Trimpey, Cena looks way too weak since Elimination Chamber and should become like he was in the Elimination Chamber, hitting a ton of AAs and stuff. We all know he's gonna win, but make him stronger, man. Yeah, I hope they don't make John Cena like a chicken heel. I don't mind him poking Cody in the eye and saying, I don't need to wrestle, but I don't want it to become like a total, I don't know. I don't want it to be like, when Hogan turned heel, he changed his whole, like, how he wrestled. And I agree that a heel should wrestle different than a face, but Hogan became a coward all of a sudden and couldn't do anything. I don't want that to necessarily happen to John Cena. John Cena shouldn't be a coward. He should just do things by any means necessary. And I would like for him to be strong in the ring still. And Dez 1245 8, the show is so long. If the Cody Cena promo happened after the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and it just ended there, it would have been perfect. You know what? I can't, I cannot argue with that because I felt, I gave the show high ratings. I was definitely very entertained, but there was like an hour in the middle that I was just like, oh gosh, my yawn counter went up to 9. I have a yawn counter, by the way, on my one take, one shot review, and I got 9. So if, though, that awesome battle royal, and then we just take the promo, boop, maybe one match in between, that would have been a perfect SmackDown. SmackDown at 3 hours just doesn't hit. Just doesn't hit. Unless it's my head to my pillow because I'm falling asleep. And that's your hot takes. Those are your hot takes for WrestleMania weekend. Here we are. Whether the builds have been lackluster, don't matter at this point because we're going to get some awesome matches tonight and tomorrow. So I'll see you for Mania tonight. We'll do a hot take tomorrow. We'll do Mania again tomorrow. Then we'll do a hot take, and then we're off to WrestleMania 42. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.